guys. How you doing? Hope everyone is enjoying this day. Welcome to another edition of the podcast. Introducing. It's your girl, Chris, and I am so ready for another great show today. It's gonna be awesome sauce. It's gonna be awesome. And my daughter is already here. So that's what kind of show we're going to have today already. Thank you for joining me today here. This is introducing, I am your girl, Miss Chris, aka Smart Video Girl. And I would like to thank you for joining me today on this show of introducing. And I have a very special show for you today. Today's show is entitled Get Your Mind Right. Okay, get your mind right. And I have a very special guest who's going to be joining me today. Her name is L-Boogie. And L-Boogie is someone that I go way back, like four flats. You know, we go back to um the Can We Talk radio days. So that goes back to the beginning when I was doing radio, like way back when. So I'm excited to have Boogie on here. She has had her own journey. She's been through some things. I've known her. We're going to talk about how she got started her career. We're going to ask her some questions. You know how we do. We ask questions that have meaning. Hopefully, she can dig deeper within herself and really introduce you all to herself. So that's exciting. So I want to bring Boogie up. Boogie, are you there? I want to bring you up. I'm gonna give her. Oh, there she goes. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, if you haven't done so, make sure you first of all go back and check out the first two episodes of Introducing. This is episode three. And the first episode was me. So if you don't know me, if you're new to the pod, if you're new to this, if you do, whatever, if you don't know who I am, if you've never heard of me before, you can go back and learn a little bit about me. And then the last episode, which was the last Tuesday, was about my sister, and that was called A Journey of Inspiration. That was a really good show. That was a great show. And this show is going to be just as great because I have with me none other than L Boogie. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Boogie Woogie.
Hello, Love Muffin. How are you?
I'm so well, and I'm so happy to be here with you.
I'm super duper excited. You know, when we get together, it's magical.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I'm like super excited. Like, so if you can't see, I have in honor of us. I have on the Black Women Connecting Community shirt.
Yes,
Ooh,
honey, that's what we do.
uh,
Connecting with the women.
connecting
Community.
the communities together.
Yeah,
We bring it together. That's what today's
abs-
about.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
love it.
so I had to have you on, Boogie. I was like, I was thinking about stuff. Who can I? When I just was like, I just jumped out and just started doing the show. I was like, okay. That's why I started with me first. I was like, okay, so who can I have next? Because that always stops people from doing stuff, right? Like,
Hmm.
who am I gonna? But I was like, oh, I know people. So I was like, okay, Boogie. It's like you're always on my list. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Always. So I just want to say that first, that for those who do not know, Boogie, I just love her to pieces. And
oh.
you've always been such a joy and such a light. And so I want other people to get to know that light. And you don't start now. Start
Listen. I told myself I was not going to get emotional,
because we have a long way to go.
but it may be a possibility. So I'm
She's
bracing myself.
yes, but I'm gonna make it fun if nothing else. Okay, we're gonna
Of
make it.
course.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna laugh and cry at the same time.
that's what we
Okay.
do.
Okay. So real quick, tell people a little bit about this what you do on like summary where you are right now because I can tell them a lot, but you have evolved and you have grown. So tell me tell the people and me where you are right now, what you're doing.
Right now, I am in a wonderful space. I am on a spiritual journey, and I have been for the past 2 years. It has been heightened. But first, I want to say thank you, Miss Chris, because if it wasn't for you, I would, and I tell you, I tell this story all the time, and I don't know why you don't believe me, but it is so true that you are the one who sparked my radio um, journey of getting started and really stop BSing and stop procrastinating and just jump out there and do it. Like your energy was so contagious and so fun. I was like, I want to do that. That right there is what I want to do. And you and Lady J gave me the opportunity to help with your radio show, Can We Talk Radio, where we started way back then. And I owe it all to you because you gave me the opportunity to, you opened that door for me. Like my pinky toe was in the door. And so you opened it. And then I was able to go through and just really show you all what I was capable of doing. So thank you for that. I appreciate you for that.
Right. Well,
And I always will.
you are very welcome, and I will accept that. You know what I'm saying? And like you did what you did, like you said, I had the pinky toe open, and you was
Yeah,
like, boom,
I had my
boom.
pinky toe in there. I was like, listen, I'm gonna get in the radio because I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and just every door had been slammed. And actually, when I met you, I was on the verge of giving up and not doing radio anymore because so many doors had been closed in my face, and I never got that what is it, that I never got that validation of, keep going. I never got that. And it was when I met you, you opened me up to say, no, Lane, this is your destiny. This is what you need to do. So keep pushing.
Well, the truth be told is you couldn't tell me that you didn't already do it. So,
I had no clue what I was doing, but I was determined to prove to you that I did.
well, tell us what you're doing now. What are you doing now?
So yeah, so now I'm on this spiritual journey, right? And so I'm appreciating every second, every minute, every hour. Previously, I was so busy being caught up in the world, missing being in the moment. And so my thing that I say now is be in, be intentional, be consistent, and be present. And when I say that, is you really have to show up and just be intentional of the things that you want and speak what you want into existence. Be consistent with it and be present in those moments. It's so many times that we move forward in life, just navigating through life, just hoping and, not even really hoping, just thinking that it's supposed to line up the way it's supposed to. No, you got to pray. You have to meditate. You have to have that conversation with God often because as you know, I am a recovering, I am in remission of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. So my whole outlook on life is completely different now. I am appreciating the things that I didn't look at before. I show more gratitude than I ever had before because if you don't show gratitude, you don't get that alignment. If you're not in line, then you can't move forward. So you have to have that communication with God on a daily basis. It's not easy. It isn't easy, but you have to be intentional in believing that there's something better than the situation that you're in right now.
You said the key words, okay? Intentional.
Mhm.
I love that. So you said be intentional,
Be consistent.
be consistent, and be present.
Be present. Yes.
Yeah, and I good those are three good ones, Boogie. Those
Hmm.
are three good ones. And I like what you're saying. Like I'm for those who like you've been dealing with um your cancer for like the 2 years.
Hmm.
COVID was very interesting. Okay, we're gonna talk about COVID was very interesting because we started talking about these 2 year periods where people start to have this on the brink of transition,
Hmm.
or there's things that happen, activities in their life that happen, and then COVID happens.
Hmm.
or or in the midst of COVID at the beginning, COVID happens, or
Mhm.
we're in COVID, and
Mhm.
it changed like a whole lot of perspective. What was the good? Because everybody talks about how what was the good that came out of COVID for you? Because there was a lot of tragedy, I know.
Mhm.
But if you could see something that was good in that time, what would it be?
Um, my conversation with God, being isolated, isolation really opened up my eyes and my ears to hear from God and strengthen my faith because I was determined that I was going to live and not die because my father passed away from cancer,
Mm-hmm.
37 years old. I
Mm-hmm.
was 9. So all I knew about cancer was death. So I remember when I said, the things you really need to remember is, oh, you have to be careful what you speak out of your mouth, right? So when I was diagnosed with cancer, I said to myself, I will live and not die.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things you have to speak into existence because if you don't, the enemy will try to trick you and make you believe that you will. So I knew I had to live because I had a family, 2 kids, my daughter, my son, and I was determined. And I told them, I said, I will live and not die. And the funny thing is, during, it was COVID. I was going through chemo. It was such a lonely space because
Mm.
I couldn't have anybody go into the hospital with me. I couldn't have anybody
Right.
sit with during chemo with me. It was a
Right.
lonely space. So I was put in isolation for a reason. I tell people this, or I tell this story all the time. I believe cancer saved my life because he put me in isolation so I can hear and remember the promises that he has for me. So I wasn't going to think, oh my God, I have cancer. I said, cancer has me. I have cancer. Cancer doesn't have me.
Amen.
So
Come on.
I had to speak healing scriptures and I had to constantly remind myself of God's promises that he said to remind myself that I will live and not die. And so COVID, it was a combination of both. It was a combination of COVID, it was a combination of my journey of cancer. And then it was, the good of it. I retired of 31 years with Prince George's County Public School System.
Right. Right.
So, so,
Amen.
so that was a blessing. So if we sometimes, we always look at adversities as it being something bad. Redirect your way of thinking and look at the good in it. Don't always pay attention to the negative because the enemy wants you to do that. No, no, we're not doing that. Not today, Satan. No, no.
We don't do that over here. What's
we
my name? We don't do that here. I'm the POP. We live in
we
positivity.
live
We
in positivity. You're
live.
absolutely right. That's what we do. And so, in any
Right.
situation, you have to speak what you want it to come into existence because it's
And you
not.
have to get that in your, and you have to be it as well because
You
what you
have,
speak, you know what I'm saying? Because people can speak a lot of words, but still have a fear, and there's deep rooted fear and intimidation still in there. That do I really believe the words that I am saying out of my mouth? You have to live. You have to be the words that you are saying, and to know, like you said, to when you said that you were like, I will live and not
and
die.
not die.
Every cell in your body took hold of that. It became true of your being. So it was no other way to be but to live. Is it?
Absolutely. And then I was telling you, my spiritual journey has been so deep that
Mhm.
there was a time I was in a hospital for a whole week, and I actually believe that I checked out. But that day, I kept repeating myself over and over again. I kept saying, "You all are about to witness a miracle. It's not going to make sense to you right now, but it's going to make sense in the end."
Mm.
I don't even
Yes.
know. I can't even tell you where that came from. But
God.
I believe now
God.
that it is God. But at that time and in that moment, I
Right.
just kept repeating it the whole day. And they actually thought I was losing my mind. But I believe that it was God telling me, listen, y'all about to witness a miracle, baby. So y'all better pay attention to what's going on because I kept saying it over and over and over. And I said it so much to the point I went into a seizure.
Mm.
I was in a hospital for a whole week.
Mm.
The doctors came in to say they had a puzzled look on their face after the whole week of me being in the hospital. And they said to me, we have no idea what
Mm.
happened
Mm.
or why you went into this seizure. And
Mm.
I gave them a look and I said, because God doesn't show up on tests. I was speaking that miracle. And that's what I got from it. I was speaking that miracle.
You better do it. You better tell them what it is.
That listen, I'm here to tell you, degree or no degree, boo boo. This is what it is. This
This
is
is it.
what
You better
it is.
tell them what it is.
Yeah,
Listen. I am hearing as well a comment thread. Like I said, my sister shared her spiritual journey last week.
I loved it. By the way,
There's this thread, this common thread of isolation.
isolation.
This is common thread, and I, truth be told, earlier this year, I said this to a few people who were close to me that I felt, even though that I was surrounded by people, that I was floating on a raft in the middle of the ocean by myself.
Mhm. And he places that in your spirit for a reason.
So that you can hear him. Because what I'm hearing again in the same common thread when I was talking to my sister. Peace, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Um, when he has you in isolation, he has your full attention
He has your full
because
attention
we're constantly distracted. You know what I'm saying? We're constantly distracted.
constantly. Yeah.
So there's so much distraction, and then so even if it's a physical isolation, a mental isolation,
Hmm.
he has to get us in that state so that we can hear him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I know for a fact that there's a transformation. I've experienced it myself. I've seen it. I've heard it firsthand. It's somebody that I know personally, that I know them. I've known them all their life, and I've seen them be touched. You know what I'm saying? And have that whole awakening and be like, oh, I heard him. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness.
Hmm.
So, and then to know you say that you have your own thing, but there was this isolation that has to happen. That right there is a common thread. That's something we should pay attention, because one of the things that I want us to again introducing, one of the main laws of the universe is that we're all connected. Nothing happens by chance. We are
Right.
all going through, but even though we're all connected, we're all different.
Hmm.
And your experience, although similar, isolation, to be able to hear from God, to be able to know whatever it is that your purpose is
Hmm.
for you.
Yeah, and I believe God knocked me all the way down
All the
to
way.
get me to listen. I'm a Leo. I'm stubborn. So, so, so I think it was, he knocked me all the way down to get me to really move forward in what my purpose is.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been running from, various things, but he was like, listen, daughter, uh, you need to do what I've been telling you to do. The doors are wide open. I'm just waiting for you to come to me and ask for it. It's already there. Our
Right.
lives are already done.
Listen, you talking about the first chapter of my book that's coming up. You talking about Miss Sharon Parker, who's gonna be joining us soon, who has a new series. It's actually one of the sponsors for the show. Shout out. Thank you so
I
much.
love her. Sharon,
Yes,
yeah, her event was
yes.
amazing.
Her event was amazing, and she has a brand new podcast that she's going to be starting, Sharon Lee on the Run, and it's a whole bunch of stories, and that whole concept running. We're running from our we're running from
Yeah,
things, running from our purpose.
yeah,
So that's going to be very interesting. So yeah, he had to sit us down, knock us down, and COVID sat me down. I know it's had a whole bunch of people down. So
yeah. Yeah. God, I've experienced. I knew about God, but my journey allowed me to experience God. So
mhm,
I am super grateful for that. And
mhm,
that's the good that came out of COVID and this cancer journey.
mhm. And that's another. I think that's a level of of consciousness. That's a level of awareness and to actually experience him. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people know him, but
Hmm.
to experience him is a different thing. It's a
Right.
totally different thing. So yes. So we got some comments and the people at 11 they say, okay, that's a common thread too. He is waiting on
Yes.
you.
He
Yes, that's
is.
another
I know,
thread.
right, sis? Yes.
That is
Yes.
another one. Listen, take notes. I hope when you come to the show you take notes. I have a whole notebook.
Yes. She
Take
keeps notes.
notes. Okay.
For
Common thread.
sure.
Because they will help you understand. I really think like you have had that awakening, you have had that experiencing. Some people may not have that. They may
Right.
have they may have an awareness of God, like you said, but they don't have an experience of Him, and that is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
That's
And then the other thing that I definitely have learned was compassion for people.
mm,
Everyone has a story.
mhm.
And we have to stop putting our expectations into people and allow people and just meet people where they are and help them navigate through life that way instead of saying, oh, well, you should be doing this because da 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 da, it just doesn't, we just have to be more compassionate. I think God is really wanting us to sit down, be quiet, listen, and remove yourself because he's over everything. We get so caught up in believing that we are doing it all, and we're not doing it by ourselves. We're definitely not.
Mm-mm. That's why this show's called "Get Your Mind Right."
Get your mind right.
First
Get
and
your
foremost,
mind right.
right? And we ain't talking about just get your mind right, get your understanding that put your mind on God. That's one of the hashtags that I put. God's mind is not like our mind.
Right, exactly.
His ways are not like our ways.
And then so many times that we just get so stuck in that adversity or that drama or that whatever you feel as though you can't get out of, you could get out of. You could definitely get out of. I'm here, introducing is just a great podcast to tune into to get your mind right. It's full of positivity with so much going on in the world today. We need positivity. We need someone to help us navigate this thing through life, this thing called life
This thing
with
called
positive vibes. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
live, girl. You better get it. She gets it. Look, she
it's a
understands the
it's a vibe.
assignment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, look, with that being said, I do want to share a new thing because, we do new people. This is
Right.
L-Boogie for you guys who do not know her. You are learning more about her journey, her spiritual journey, who she is, and becoming as a person. We're going to talk about a little bit about where she's going next, what she envisions for herself. I'm excited to hear about that. And then, but before I do that, the new thing this week is actually a podcast. And you talk about surrounding yourself with positivity and good
Mhm.
vibes and things of that sort. So this podcast is called the Pronoia Seed Starseed Podcast.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Yes. Look
And
at
it is
that.
Yes, it's hosted by my girl Foxy Roxy, and honestly, if I'm being her podcast, me listening to her podcast, and watching her journey, and as she grew in doing this, inspired me to just to start doing what I love to do and what I knew to do and taking hold of it because she helped me, she inspired me. She comes from a very spiritual place as well. She's great with like astrology if you're into
Oh.
tarot and stuff like that.
Hmm.
She's here for it. So make sure you check
Oh,
out
wow. Okay.
Bonoya Starseed Podcast. You can catch her. She's on Facebook. So just look it up and shout out to her. Shout out to Rocky. Foxy Roxy in the building.
Yes. All right. I'm definitely gonna check that out. That's
Yeah,
what's
check
up.
it out. And she be on it. Okay. She comes on like every day. So you could check it.
Every day.
Yeah, she don't
Oh,
play.
I'm
She
not
don't
worthy. I'm not
play. You
worthy.
know what I'm saying? I'm not worthy. Exactly.
Wow. Okay. That's
So,
what's
but she
up.
gets it in. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's the grind. We've been doing this but the
Oh my
grind, she
gosh.
came in,
Yeah.
she stepped in, she did her thing. So shout out to Foxy Roxy.
Roxy,
And
Roxy.
yes, 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 yes. And meet people where they are. And that's something that she does. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Foxy Roxy.
Hey, Foxy Roxy.
Yes. And so, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can get her on the show too. She's actually going to be part of the uh, 3 day Get Clear challenge. Okay, because I'm still doing the Get Clear challenge. I had to postpone it, but I'm going to do that in July. So it's going to be a 3 day Get Clear challenge, mind, body, and spirit. And she's going to be on for the last day. So
Yeah,
Shadow, make sure you check her out. It's great information. I'm telling you, she be putting it down, and she be like, I'm a logical person, and so when you start laying things in order and they start all making sense, it's like the
yeah.
stars. It's like, okay, so we have, because I believe in God, and
Oh, yeah.
then you have the universe and all these things. They're all the same.
They
So
just line up
they
right,
all are the same.
right?
Why am I to? Who am I to?
It's just lining up the way it's supposed to line up. And if we align, a lot of times if we just get out of our own way, everything will just flow so nicely.
So it would
So
just flow.
hey, I can't wait to listen to the show. Ah,
Yes, listen to her show. Her show is really good, and she has some really good music on it. So, yes, make sure you check her out. Who's calling me? Why? I know.
okay.
So while we're there's interruptions. It's probably a bill collector. But
spam, spam likely.
Sam Likely. There you go. There it is. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's on Only Greatness Media Productions. That is my production company. Make sure you go and follow us. Go subscribe. My subscribe. Listen, I'm so grateful for this show, and I'm so grateful for all the support and and this platform is really it's like growing exponentially. This is the third episode. I feel like I've been doing this for years.
Well, we have.
You
You're a veteran. What are you talking about? This is not new to you. Your positivity, your creativity, like this is you. This is your thing.
Thank you, Boogie. So see, I need people like you on the show. You're
This is what
introducing
you
me to
do.
myself. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be a guest, if you want to be a sponsor, if you have any questions, if you want to have any topic, if you have any show title suggestions, you can send me an email at tellemchris, and
Tell
that's
them,
it's
Chris.
tellemchris at gmail.com. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Smart Video Girl.
Girl,
Gracias. Gracias. This show is called Get Your Mind Right.
get your mind
Get
right,
your mind
hunty.
right, hunty. And that's right. We're talking about focusing on those things that are positive. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We're talking about focusing our minds on things that we can't control.
Mhm.
Can we
Mhm.
talk about that for a second? Because
Yes.
a lot of
Yes, please. Uh huh. Uh huh.
well, please, can we talk about people? People say mind your business. That really boils down to worry about things that you can control.
Mhm. And I
Focus.
think that's one of the things that was another thing. Once you sit down long enough and listen to what he's telling you and focus on your purpose and what he's saying, you don't have no choice but to, it eliminates all the extra noise from everything. Because when I was going through my journey, like I wasn't watching the news, I wasn't watching reality TV, because what you feed your mind is what the enemy
Mm-hmm,
tricks. The
mm-hmm.
tricks of the enemy is always busy. So you constantly have to say to yourself, like I said, the promises of God, affirmations, meditate, pray, keep that mind on a positive level. Then you're aligned up, right? And you will see how things flow so naturally. God doesn't do chaotic. He doesn't do confusion. He doesn't do stress. He doesn't do worry. That's not what he is about. So when you find yourself in that place, in that space of worrying and confusion and being angry just for no apparent reason at all, you got to know you're not aligned properly. So
Yes,
go get your
get
mind
your mind
right.
right. Yes, ASAP. Listen, I say my new thing is, frustration is a wasted. I know she's in the background. This
Your
is
twin.
She's first, she talks in
Welcome,
the
welcome
microphone.
to live media. Yeah.
Welcome to our media. And so I say, frustration is a wasted energy. Like,
Mhm.
why
Mhm.
are you wasting your time frustrated?
And
But
then the thing is, when you can recognize it,
when you
is
can
when you
recognize,
know that
mhm,
you're on a great path of your good spiritual journey, where you can sit there and just stop for like 5 seconds and be like, okay, this person just pissed me off. Let me
mhm,
just refocus my
mhm,
energy into something positive. Think of the good things. So when you feel like you're going into a bad space, think of all the good things you have. You open your eyes, you're above ground moving around. You can hear, you can see, you got two legs, you got two arms, you beat cancer, whoop, whoop, all of
whoop, whoop.
that.
Right?
You got to
Hey,
think
hey,
about all of that.
that's where that gratitude comes in.
Yeah.
That's where the gratitude, because when you feel like happy, there's again vibrations. There's only
Hmm.
two vibrations. So there's low, high, up, and
Hello.
love. Fear and
Yeah.
love. It's
Yeah.
only two vibrations, dog. It's only so if you when you frustration, all those low vibration elements, they are what they are, low
Hmm.
vibration.
Hmm.
Okay, gratitude gives you that, girl.
Hmm. Girl,
Girl, gratitude gives you that vibration of happiness. It feels good.
it feels good.
It feels
Don't you want to
good.
feel good?
Who doesn't want to be? That's why when I go to the Wegmans, I dance, right? I'm a dancer. I
Oh,
will
I know.
dance in the Wegmans. It's a physical expression of my happiness.
It
And
is. That's how,
I feel it.
L-Boogie. I didn't get L-Boogie for no reason. Like, I love to dance too. That's my energy.
It's contagious
It
too.
is.
And but it's and so I have no choice sometimes now at this point it's become like me. Like it's awkward to feel frustrated and to be annoyed. Like it's really awkward. I have to really take a message from my daughter, which is stop and breathe.
Yeah, I heard her say that the other day.
She
Stop
said
and breathe.
and
Don't.
she said it and she meant it. But it's like the simple things, like if she could say that and remember that, if she could say that and remember that, then how easy it is for me. And if she can recognize it, she was like, maybe mommy, you need to. She didn't say that for no reason. She didn't just say that for no reason.
Right. She
She
she she
said
knew
that
your
and
energy was off. She knew your energy
Ma,
was
you
off.
need to stop and breathe. And I
Hmm.
was like, oh, okay. All
And
right.
it's
It
and
was
it's
cute.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that right there. It was like, you know what, you're right, baby. It's
Priceless. I know you had to capture that. I saw that.
I did. I did. To see
Yeah,
what I'm dealing with.
that is. I'm telling you, those three deep breaths you allow yourself to take when you get in that moment when you're frustrated, angry, or off balance.
Off
It
balance.
makes a difference.
Yes, it does. You want to say hi? Okay, say hi to everybody.
Hello, beautiful. How are you? What is the thing that we need to remember to do when we get off, where we're not right? We have to stop and do what?
She's not ready. She didn't read the script. I didn't tell her what the thing was. All right, can you go so mommy can finish her doing her podcast, okay? All right, thank you. So, tell everybody bye bye. Bye bye.
I'm happy to see you.
Let's see you later.
See you later.
Okay.
See you later, twin.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye. All right.
Hair's like crazy.
It looks beautiful. I love
Thank
it actually.
you.
I'm
Thank
just
you.
loving it. I'm all for the fro nowadays.
Yeah, like I was watching. My favorite place to go is to watch the airplanes take off and come in, right? So I'm capturing this moment, and this guy ride past on his bike says, "I love the fro." Thank you. And
Yes.
messed up my video, but thanks. I'm just kidding.
Listen,
I was
it's
great.
attractive.
That was beautiful.
It's attractive. I get
Thank
it all
you.
the time.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand, but it's an attractive. People be like, "Oh, I love your fro. Oh, it's beautiful." And yours is just like,
It's big. Like it's not as
I
big as I
love,
usually do it, but
I love it.
I just
I
make it
love it.
really extra big. And even Nevaeh's like, I like that, mommy. And I
I
picked her
love
up from school the other day, and a friend was like, okay, Fro.
it. That's because it's a bold move. A lot of people won't walk around with a fro like that.
I'm embracing every minute of it.
I
I
love
love
it.
it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So guess what, y'all? We talking about. Oh, quick. So Boogie. what is going what do you envision for your future? You know, we're talking about speaking things to existence. You know how this is working. You know, you spoke yourself to the living. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? To surviving.
yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes,
So
thank God.
what's next for you? What I know because even though we're present and we're in the moment and we're grateful for right now, we're still here.
Hmm.
So what do you how do you move forward with that?
So I move forward with speaking things into existence that I and no longer living in fear. So if it's something that I want to do, I'm just going to jump up there and do it. It works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. But at least I know that I did not sit in fear on it. So one of the things that I have coming up is I have a girls event that I'm going to be doing for girls ages 9 through 14. It's called Pearls for Girls. And it's just an event to speak to young girls, speak positivity into their spirit, teach them how to communicate with their parents better, be active listeners, have speakers coming to talk to my girls about just living their best life at an early age. Like I want to get them the ages are from 9 to 14 right now. I'm going to move on to something for teens a little older after
Okay.
I see how this goes. But I just wanted to put something out there to give out, to share my testimony, to share my um, spiritual journey, to talk faith and have them understand because not a lot of young girls have experienced God. Like they
Mhm.
may know God, but they haven't experienced it. So just helping them navigate ways and tools to help them navigate through this tough situations that they have in life and allow them to know that it's only a moment. It's not
Mhm.
forever. If we can get through this and move through this, then we can navigate our way through life much easier. And just helping them understand who they are as princes. It's called we are descendants of royalty.
Mm.
We are royalty of descendants. I'm sorry.
I love
Yeah.
that. I sign me up. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, just encouraging them and motivating them to let them know their worth.
Yes. I'm excited about that. And listen, you said something, and I found this quote today because I do a lot of studying. You know, what I'm saying I am very much like a nerd.
Yeah, we're gonna get Iana Van Zandt on the show. 'Cause remember that time we
Oh,
met
girl,
her? Remember? We
listen.
did not capture that moment.
I
And
know.
yeah, and we always spoke her quotes and what she would say, and
I used her books like she's. Let me tell you something. She's like sparked this spiritual journey that I'm on long time ago.
yeah.
I've met
So
her several times.
exactly. So again, we're speaking things into existence, so it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. They're gonna be like, "Tell him, Chris."
Tell them, Chris. Yeah.
I
So
told him, Chris.
yeah,
No.
exactly, right? We're gonna tell them, Chris.
I
So
told him.
that's going to be one of the things. Of course, I'm still in the process of doing my book, and I want to document my story of my cancer journey.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so a
Well,
documentary in the making.
in the making. All right. Well, look, I found this quote today. It says, "Real failure is not falling down; it's staying down when you have fallen."
Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What you said.
What I had said, I said, I'm gonna say it one more time for the people in the back, just in case they didn't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Real failure is not falling down; it's staying down when you have fallen, and that is so true.
That is true. A lot of times
Yes.
we definitely get lost in the failure part of it instead of picking our head. Now, see, when I was going through my journey, there were moments where I wanted to give up. But
Mm,
again, like I said, I allowed myself to be in that moment, but I didn't
mhm.
stay there. And that was the
Mhm.
key of getting out of it is not allowing yourself to stay in that moment of being thinking that it's a failure.
So let me ask you, how did you bring yourself out of that? Like, what did you do? Is it like was it a scripture? Was it a ritual? Like, what did you do?
There were several scriptures. It was Joshua 1 and 9. Haven't I commanded you to be strong and of good courage? Do not be afraid or dismayed, for the Lord God is with you wherever you go. It was Jabez's prayer. Oh Lord, that you bless me indeed, enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with mine. Keep evil away from me so I may not cause pain. It was several healing scriptures. It was definitely the disciples' cross, which is can be found in John.
Mhm.
John 15:5 was my most famous. You are the vine, I'm the branch.
Mm.
That part
I was
right
just
there.
expecting me that you will bear fruit, prepare for me, you will bear nothing.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
I had
Yeah.
prayer warriors. Prayer warriors surrounded me. So when I
Mhm.
didn't have the strength to pray for myself, I had people praying for me that I
Amen.
didn't even know
Hallelujah.
actually. That I didn't even know, but they let me know. I felt the spirit in their prayers as they were praying for me because I wouldn't allow myself to sit in those days too long. It was probably a maximum of 2 days that I would allow myself to sit in those
To
days
feel
and
that. Mhm.
to feel it, because I believe that God gave me this journey to help someone else. It wasn't just for me. So
Amen.
if I don't feel all of it, I'm not going to be able to help anybody else. So I can actually
Mhm.
navigate you through the the journey of whether it be cancer or whether it just be an adversity or something that you're going through. I can definitely help. God has placed it in my spirit to help navigate, make me feel everything that I went through so I can help somebody else.
That's what he does. I'm thinking
Hmm.
that because I had the same revelation with my book coach just this week um of that. It's like when you have that experience, it's like I've been trying to quote unquote write this book for a very long time, and I was feeling like I can't write this book because I haven't experienced everything. And whatever lesson was in it wasn't done. I kept saying that to myself because I kept feeling it because I was like, it's just some reason. That's just I know, I know. I don't got this urging to write this book so goddamn go bad that
Hmm.
I be going to these workshops. I be writing. I
Hmm.
got journals. I got notebooks. It's not no reason why. You know what I'm saying? I said, and every time I would get to a point and not finish it, I'd be like, well, it must be something else I need to do. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I took that attitude and
Hmm.
I just kept going, you know what I'm saying? But I've really come to a point that I feel that I have all the pieces, that I had
Yeah.
experienced everything that it is that I had gone through, everything that I need to go through in order to deliver a message, to serve the
Hmm.
purpose for which I have been sent here to do.
Hmm.
You
And
know what I'm
that,
saying? And
yeah,
so
yeah, and
it just
that was, yeah. I feel you
yeah.
on that because I felt the same way. My book was already done before I
Hmm.
got diagnosed with cancer, and I said,
It wouldn't have
see
been
that,
done.
see, we have to be careful what we say out of our mouth, right? Because I was saying just as I finished the book, finished writing it and everything, was ready headed to the editor, and I finished, and I was questioning myself. I don't think this book is going. Nobody's going to be interested in my story, and I'll be daggone if I ain't get diagnosed with cancer not too long after I said that.
Mm,
So,
mm.
bam. Okay, so you
The
don't think
book
it's
must be
interesting? Well,
done.
let me give you something interesting that you could put in this book. How about that? Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Would you like
Okay.
something? Or you want an earth shattering, life changing. Oh, you want to win an oh you
Oh, you
oh
wanna
you
you wanna be a
oh you
bestseller, do you?
oh you want to be a best. Oh, you want to touch spirits. Oh, you want to touch hearts. Oh, you
I
want to
want to touch spirits. I want to touch souls. I want people to
yeah.
know that they can get through whatever they are going through. It is only momentarily. It is only a moment in time.
Yeah.
Their affirmations, their Bible scriptures. I had a book of healing scriptures that I would read every single day. God woke me up at
Mhm.
4 o'clock every morning for me to do this
Amen.
every single day. So
Mm.
it's
Okay,
real.
so I'm gonna ask you one question. Oh my gosh, I'll be going through the show. It's just so. Well, you really touched on like all of my laws. Like I usually have these questions I go through that I didn't have to ask you.
I know you got one in there.
Okay. Oh gosh. Let's see. Mhm. Okay. How do you sow into what you believe for yourself?
Dang, I knew you was gonna ask me that one. You asked your sister that too, didn't you?
I know that's
How do you
because I
say
think
the
this one
question
is
again?
important. How do you sow into what you believe for yourself? Because this is the law of compensation. You know what I'm saying? This is saying, what you sow, almost a sowing reaping thing, but this is for yourself. How do you sow into what you believe for yourself?
Reminding myself of God's promises.
Hmm.
He said it, so it's going to come to pass. So I
Hmm.
don't question it anymore. I don't ask why. I don't try to run from it. I hit it head on. He said it, it's going to happen, and I believe it and I trust it. So my thing is trust God and trust the process. Whatever that
Mm,
process is, trust it because God
mm,
has my back.
mm. I heard a quote today. I listened to a lot of Joel on XM because it's
I
like,
love it. Hmm.
I love it. He said, he said the process is like faith in slow motion. It's the process is always it's
It's so
slow.
slow. But to see, the thing is, it's not. It's never our time. It's
It's
God's
always
time
slow.
with
Right.
everything. And so, like I
Yeah.
said, if we just get out of our own way and allow Him to do what He do, then everything will line up. If your mouth lines up with what you believe in and what God's promises are, you have no
Hmm.
doubt in your mind that it's going to come to pass. No doubt. So
What's your
speak
morning
life. My
routine?
thing is my
Speak
morning
life.
routine.
Oh my gosh, yeah, speak life. Yes, but what's your routine? Sorry.
My morning routine is I wake up. No, I'm in bed. I listen to a gratitude meditation for 12 minutes. I am
Hmm.
thank you for the air I breathe. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you. And then it goes on to several things that you're thankful for. So I listen to that. And then I open up the Bible and I read some verses. It's different daily, but I read verses and then I write in my journal of what my day was before and how God showed up in that day,
Hmm.
and then speak my day into existence of what it's going to be. That's
I
my
like
morning
it.
routine every morning.
I like it.
And then when my kids, I drop my daughter off at school and we recite those two Bible verses, Joshua 1 and 9, together before she leaves every morning. And yeah, that's what we do. I make my kids say a Bible verse to me before we separate from each other.
I know that's right. She said, "Okay, you got to get to
Yeah,
work, get the cover."
I need you
I know
covered.
that's right.
I don't care where you are. I need you covered. If you can't say it, text it to me so I know it's in your mouth and in your heart.
I like that. I love that boogie. I love that. So, oh my gosh, get your mind right, guys. Get your mind right. This show we've been talking to L-Boogie. If you don't know, now you know. She is going around passing a message of survival. She's passing a message of hope, faith, inspiration, and you can do it.
Yes,
Okay.
passing spiritual nuggets out there.
That's right. Pastor Boogie out here passing around those spiritual nuggets for real. And that's so funny because you never, and I'll say this too, you never skipped a beat because you weren't diagnosed when we first started doing the podcast. And it
Mm-mm.
was like, yeah, no, you weren't. And so, but you didn't say, okay, guys, and this is okay, get your mind right.
Hmm.
Boogie had every reason. That's why I love my show. Because Spirit becomes in and speaking. Because I didn't know what I was going to say. This is how we're going to end the show. Boogie had every reason to say, sorry, guys, I'm not doing this anymore. It's too much. You know how we have meetings. We're going to, how Tara's career is like, we have meetings, we got our things, we got this, I need you to do this. Boogie didn't blink no eyes. She didn't miss no meetings. She didn't complain. She didn't hesitate. It's like her mind. was fine tuned on the fact of what she had said in the beginning.
Mhm. Mhm.
So she was set on living. It was like, even through the cancer, that was just a part of her journey of living.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely right. I knew I didn't want to sit idled because if I sat idled and did nothing, the devil was going to start playing on my mind.
Amen.
So I
Amen.
had to stay true to my passion. And my
Mhm.
passion is radio and media and broadcasting and all that good stuff. So I knew that I had to keep my mind busy because I
Mhm.
didn't want I wanted the devil to know whose child I was.
Mm, mm, and not yours, but not you. Days away. So you had your mind right. And
Mhm.
that is very important, because when we let our mind stay idle, when we let our mind fall to the negative thoughts, it's like a rabbit hole. You literally want more of it. So you know what I'm saying? Well, I can't and I won't. Well, I don't feel like it, and well, it's not going to happen, and just becomes that, again, power of words. It becomes that spiral of things that you cannot do, won't do, and unable to do, and then things just start to not happen that way, just because that's just the way you said they were going to be. So
Right, right.
versus, you know, I'm an overcomer. I'm an achiever. I'm a doer. I will. I am going. I am. I will. I am. When you I am,
When you I am,
when you I am,
yeah.
there's
Cause
no other greater power that gives you the strength that declares your ability, that gives God the ability to help you out and to put things in your place.
yeah.
To
You can
in
do
your journey, He all things through
all
Christ who
things.
strengthens you,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
already has it set for you. And that's the other thing. Get your mind right. Once you know God has already had the journey set out for you, it is not for you to fail. It is for you to be
Succeed. Yeah.
abundant,
Mhm.
succeed. So if
Mhm.
your mind is set on the fact that, again, the promises that He wants us to be abundant, and
Mhm.
there is no such thing as a lack, for
Mhm.
He is the creator of all things, then
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
my mind is set on what is. There is no other way.
Absolutely. And that's what it was. And so I had to constantly I was just so excited of speaking to other people about what I was going through because I needed
Mhm.
to share it so bad. Like it was busting me wide open. Like I've got to share how good God is and how He
Yes.
has blessed me through this journey. I got to share this. I was doing interviews and people who knew me was like, "Would you do an interview?" Absolutely. I'm not touching neighbors. I'm not touching people in my city. I'm touching worldwide people who are
Mm,
listening to these podcasts, who are searching for hope. And that was what I was ready to share because I was just so grateful and so excited how God showed up in my life
mhm.
that I'm praying that it touches. If it touched one person, I
That's
would
right.
be definitely grateful for that because that one person is going to tell another person and it's just going to spread like wildfire. And then we'll finally get to the point where we are loving everyone and we are listening to what God is telling us so we can get out of this COVID and we can be obedient and have abundant lives. It's ready for you. God just waiting
It's
for you to
right.
tell them that that's what you want.
Listen,
Yeah, put in
He's
the work. Remember we say that? Put
you better
in
get
the
your mind
work.
right. Do the work, keep the faith. That's the name of the book. It's coming out very, very, very soon. I'm trying to tell you, it is in the works. Um, get your mind right. This has been a very great episode. Like, an hour is just enough, but not enough all
Already.
at the same time. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. The podcast introducing, I'm Girl Miss Chris, aka Smart Video Girl. This is L-Boogie. She joined me today. We had a great conversation. If you missed it, you need to go back and check it out. It'll be right back here on YouTube. You can catch the replay, or you can catch it on Super Radio. All right. I got sponsors, y'all, for real.
Yeah, shout out to Timothy. Whoop, whoop.
So you can check out Super Tim, superradiodmv.com. You can check it out. It'll be up probably tomorrow. You can catch the replay. And then very, very, very soon, very, very, very soon, it's going to be on Wild Radio starting, yes, starting at the end of the month. The podcast will be re-aired on Wild Radio as part of their Monday motivation. So, yes,
Wonderful, darling. Wonderful.
I'm so excited. And listen, again, new things. I told y'all last week. I'm not playing. Since last week, I've made even more money with the Upside app,
Oh, I wanted to tell you that I am doing that because of you. And I
girl.
got some coins back. Yes, girl.
That's
Thank
what I'm
you.
trying to tell you. Thank you,
Thank
Boogie.
you.
See,
Yeah.
testify. Make sure you go on up and sign up for my link or just go and sign up. Whatever you do, I don't care. Get your coins because the
Get your
Upside app is
coins.
bomb.com. Okay. I've been getting my coins. You just heard it from Boogie. She got her coins. So make sure you check it out. Okay. All right. Okay. And of course, Black Women Connecting Communities. Boop, boop, boop. This is lovely shirt here. Oh, that's what we
Yes,
do.
connect. Let's connect. Let's connect.
Yes, we're still doing things in the community. You know, always and every, if you have an organization or if you have a cause that you need fundraising for, make sure you reach out to us and let us know so we can, uh, you know, help out in any way that we can. All right, and
Absolutely.
Juneteenth is coming up
Yes.
this weekend. There's gonna have poetry in the park at
Cool.
Butterfly Park in Northeast DC. So there will be vendors and food will be on site. Bring your own chairs. That's a super Tim, a super radio event. So yes, make sure you check it out. That's really fun.
Okay. Yes, poetry. Let me break out the poetry again. Okay.
Yes,
In
poetry,
my
poetry.
yeah, in my memories. You know how they put up memories? Remember the first time I did my poem when we were live on location? The
Yes.
first time ever? Yes, I was like, oh, I need to pull out the book again.
See, beauty. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. Well, yeah, I'm so excited, everybody.
Don't
Yay.
forget my event, July 10th. Go to Eventbrite, Girls for Girls.
Yes. That's right. Make sure you check it out. And make sure you check out, come back next week. I like my music. I'm
I
sorry.
do too.
But
Yes,
make sure you come
girl.
back next week. Next week, we're going to have Miss Sharon Parker. Sharon on the Run, the podcast is going to be talking about that. It's going to be debuting next Friday. So make sure you tune in Tuesday and then catch the premiere of her show next Friday. And you can catch the replay as soon as we end. You can go back and replay. Make sure you share, like, tag, subscribe, do all of that good stuff they let you do on YouTube.
All of that.
And the sharing is very important. Okay.
Appreciate
That
it.
being said, I love you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you, Love Muffins.
And get your mom right.
Get your mom right.
Please.